What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. We're going to get into AEW Dynamite from February the 19th, 2025. This show was okay. We had a couple of pretty cool things that happened on the show. Outside of that, this show was kind of boring, kind of run-of-the-mill Dynamite, basically. So we kicked the show off with Hangman Page and MJF. They had a really long promo segment. I'm going to try to shorten this, basically. So, basically, MJF put over Hangman, and MJF basically said that he beat Hangman to win the Dynamite Diamond Ring. He won it 6 times. So, MJF says it's laughable when the fans decide more what's in his business. He mocks Hangman. He says the main character, after everything he's done over the past few years, he talks about the things that Hangman's done, like burn down Swerve's house, how he took a syringe, he did his stuff with Swerve and everything else. So he talked about that a little bit. And then he also talked about how Hangman basically ended the career of his mentor, Christopher Daniels. So, basically, Hangman retorts all this by saying, he put to Christopher Daniels, basically. He said that Christopher Daniels is 10 times the man MJF is. He says that he doesn't want to be arrogant to fully understand, but he can speak for himself. He knows right from wrong, and he's not afraid to speak about it. He said, what's right is right, seeing eye to eye. He said he's accomplished everything where MJF has to cheat for the last 5 years. So MJF calls Hangman a child. He makes fun of him. He says that it was the powers that be, a.k.a. the elite, that propped up Hangman as the golden boy for the company before opening its doors, before they opened its doors. MJF, only thing he needed was just a scarf and a mic. MJF insists that Hangman's earned nothing. And MJF said that what makes him better than MJF? And then Hangman says that he's real. And then Max says that he can be the hero all he wants. He has no problem being the bad guy. And then they're about to come to blows. MJF then spits on Hangman. Hangman beats up security. Christopher Daniels comes out and he holds Hangman back. And he says that this is what he was hoping for. He said Hangman knows who he is. And so that was the end of the segment. This is fine, just a little bit too long. MJF was very truthful in this promo that Hangman has been propped up since day one by the elite, basically. But also, I liked how Hangman basically retorted by saying that he's real. It was the fans who helped him get through all the hard times and the struggles that he's had. Now, I'm not the biggest Hangman fan in the world. I'm not. But he's a serviceable mid-carder. He's okay. He's okay. I am kind of excited for this. I wonder if this is going to be a one-and-done match, or are they going to continue this until maybe Double or Nothing. But I'm thinking around Double or Nothing, they probably want to do Hangman and Moxley again. So that's what they might do. So does that mean Hangman's going to not dethrone, but is he going to go over Max? I don't know. Interesting stuff. But this was okay, I guess. This was okay. Moving on. So this leads us into a backstage segment where Roderick Strong, he talks about his thoughts about facing Orange Cassidy. It's going to be the main event. Ugh. Gross. Roderick Strong says that despite being friends with Kyle O'Reilly, He's ready to beat the fellow former champion to move on to Revolution. Kyle then calls Orange Cassidy his boy, but said Roderick Strong is going to break that back. Pause, with Adam Cole saying that a win for Adam Strong is undisputed. Okay, who cares about that? First match of the night, the Ops, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata, they defeat the Patriarchy, that being Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Kip Sabian. I don't give a shit about this match. The Ops had a cool entrance. That's all I'm going to say about it. Really cool entrance, fire and stuff, so pretty cool stuff. Hook basically tapped out Nick Wayne. Who cares? Moving on. Garbage. Speaking of garbage, we got Chris Jericho on our screens once again. So, Chris Jericho says that he could get her fired. We're talking about Renee, because him and her, they had a little mini backstage interview, basically. So Jericho doesn't appreciate, as he talks about how he could get Renee fired before talking about his accomplishments. He makes fun of Bandito, but he congratulates him on pinning him last week, offering him a shot at the ROH World Heavyweight Championship on Collision. He says the bounty's out the window here, promising to make people treat Chris fucking Jericho more serious. I don't care about this stuff. I'm a fan of Bandito. I do not care about Jericho. Please retire, Chris Jericho, please. And it seems like if they are going to prop Collision up, they might as well just move all the ROH stuff on Collision and just do a combination of ROH and Collision talent. And I think there's your TV deal right there. That's what I would fucking do. Do I care? Moving on. Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, he defeats Big Bill, a.k.a. W. Morrissey. Okay. It was a street fight. This thing was, I guess, a last man standing match for whatever reason. So Hobbs got the win. He put Big Bill through a table via, I guess he was going for a choke slam or a spine buster, but either way, he won that way. He put him through a table. It had barbed wire on it, and W. Morrissey couldn't stand at all. Like, he wasn't out, but he couldn't stand. He couldn't get to his feet. And apparently, I'm guessing street fights are now last man standing / Texas death matches, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Hobbs actually deserves better, though, for sure. I'm actually ready for Hobbs and Hook to actually get out of AEW and go to NXT, for sure. Hobbs would be very successful in NXT. Same thing with Hook. Because why? Hook's really a part of that age bracket. It's a bunch of 20-year-olds down there in NXT, basically, with a couple of veterans. So, yeah. This was okay. Moving on. So, basically, I wanted to burn my television to the ground. Why? Because Useless, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage, they showed up. So, they basically wanted to challenge the Hurt Syndicate, who's not there. They want to challenge the champions for Collision. Nope, hard pass. I'm not going to watch Collision. I don't care about Collision at all. Just don't. Excuse me. Just don't. I don't care about Collision at all. And they're now called the Murder Machines. Sounds like a really cool deathcore band. Sounds like it. Maybe deathcore / black metal, maybe. I don't know. But it's not going to make me watch Collision. Collision is garbage. Garbage. Moving right along. So, Toni Storm, she shows up. Thomas Toni Storm. She said that, she talks about Mariah May being being the woman from hell, stealing everything from her. She's proud of beating Mariah May with the biggest package you've ever seen. She talked about which is basically alluding to the small package of how she won at Grand Slam, Australia. She called Mariah May a bitch. And then she talked about her upcoming film in Queen of the Ring. So Toni then says God is a woman and her name is timeless. This was great. Really good stuff here. Toni Storm continues to hit it out the park. But what do you do with Toni Storm after she finishes her feud with Mariah May? And I was kind of shocked that Mariah May was not on this show. She should have been. I don't know why she was not. It makes no sense. She should have been on the show because she lost to a small package. And that could have, gotten her flustered and set up a match between her and Toni to end the feud at Revolution, which is where the end game is going to be. I don't know what match they could do, what stipulation. Maybe, well, you can't do a steel cage because they're already going to do a steel cage for Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I don't really know. Maybe a last woman standing match. Maybe a Falls Count Anywhere match. I don't know, something. But you've got to do some type of stipulation so that way we know that this feud is over and done with. And what do you do with Mariah May after she loses to Toni Storm? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea at all. But I know what you do with Toni Storm. You continue to build her up. Same thing with Mercedes Moné. I'm going to go ahead and say it. And they need to either do Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné at either Double or Nothing or All In. One of the two. Either or, in my opinion, would actually be fine. I'd be fine with either or because it makes sense. Actually, you know what? I would do it at Double or Nothing, and then you can kind of end the feud at All In. So that should be Toni Storm's next goal because she needs a challenge. She needs a challenge. Mercedes, same thing. And I think that Toni being such a good character, this could really get something out of Mercedes because Mercedes is just, she's so fucking soulless as a character and she sucks. She's doing some of the worst shit she's done in years. Excuse me. It's just a fact. Moving on. So we get a video package for Gabe Kidd for whatever reason. He'll be on Collision this Saturday. Who cares? Not important. Not important at all. Where's Josh Alexander? Is he going to show up or is he going to wait till, Revolution? Is Tony Khan gonna hoist him out at Revolution? Come on, just bring him out already. Come on. Like, seriously. Moving on. Willow Nightingale, she's backstage. She was about to talk about the Death Riders attacking her last week, and then Brenda Shafir beats her up once again. And so her and John, they basically forced the camera operator to take them to the ring. So Moxley gets on the mic. He talks about, as champion, this is his arena, his ring, and no one's going to issue a challenge to him like there's somebody. He talks about Edge challenging him for the world title at Revolution, but he nearly popped the Rated R Superstars head off, and if that Edge does it at Revolution, he'll finish the job. So Switchblade Jay White shows up. He comes out. He stares him down. Edge comes out. They get the upper hand real quick. Edge spears Wheeler Yuta and Pac. He also spears Claudio. He ends up getting the barbed wire baseball bat or whatever. The barbed wire 2x4 that he uses. Called Spike. He gets that. And then he scares off Moxie and them. They all scour. So Edge calls Moxie a champ, and he promises to take out Mox's goon squad one by one. That's fine. It makes sense. This shit should have happened from the beginning. But again, Edge should not have lost at Grand Slam Australia. That should have been Jay White, not Edge. But it is what it is. Moving on. Mercedes Moné. She's backstage. She talks about beating Harley Cameron at Grand Slam Australia. And then we go back to an interview with Momo Watanabe. Who the fuck is that? So she basically wins some International Women's Grand Prix at Wrestle Dynasty. And then she wants to challenge Mercedes. So, Mercedes is not pleased by this. She tells her to come to Dynamite to face her face to face. What the hell? And to tell her to her face. What the hell? That makes no sense. Who in the fuck is Momo Watanabe? Who is this? Oh, wait. I forgot. She's Japanese. Is that important? No. Dude, nobody knows who she is at all. For what? You could have done this match on Dynamite. Why are you wasting this at Revolution? This should have been done on Dynamite. Or even Collision. Oh, my God. What the hell? Moving on. Kris Statlander versus Megan Bayne. Really good match, although I was thinking they were going to actually have a match at Revolution, but Tony Khan couldn't hold his nut, so he went ahead and nutted, basically. So Megan Bayne defeats Kris Statlander with the help of Penelope Ford. So Megan Bayne wins via the F5. Post-match, Thunder Rosa comes out with a steel chair, and neither Megan Bayne nor Penelope Ford refused to sell the chair. They didn't even. I don't know. This was weird to me. This was weird to me. Oh man, I don't know what to say. Kris Statlander, I'm ready for her to be in NXT. I am. Please get this girl away from Tony Khan. Please. Please. Moving on. Max Caster. He throws out another open challenge. So it's either going to be answered by either Josh Alexander or Gabe Kidd. Who really cares about any of this shit? Moving right along. Ricochet comes out. Got a pretty okay promo. He makes fun of the Phoenix crowd. He talks about the difference between winners and losers, insisting he's a winner after he pinned Swerve Strickland in the middle of the ring. He talks about wearing the embassy robe and how it matters less than wearing championships. But that's where his sights are set in 2025. He promises that Ricochet will be a champion in 2025 because he's too good looking not to be. So then Prince Nana comes out. He tells Swerve to stay at home, and he wants to talk to Ricochet one-on-one. He said they've been beefing, down the road Ricochet's wearing something that doesn't belong to him. Prince Nana has been in this business for 30 years, and that robe has a lot to do with it. It represents pride and integrity, and those that Nana walked through and those that we lost. One thing about that robe is anyone wearing it does it with honor and after earning the opportunity to do so. And Nana gave Ricochet the opportunity. If he wants to prove he's the winner, all he has to say, if he wants to prove he's the winner, all he says he is, all Ricochet has to do is give that robe back, and Ricochet tells him to take it. So Prince Nana is hesitant. Ricochet mocks him. He said he's not giving it back. He says, aha! And that was it. So this is a pretty good little promo there. Ricochet actually is getting it. He's getting it. I like it. The glasses, though, they remind me of, teacher glasses. Teacher glasses or, glasses that your grandmother or grandfather would wear. Something like that. or maybe even like your therapist. but either way, it makes him look quite distinguished, and I do like that. You can tell that Ricochet is very, very demented, and I do like that. And so, darker Ricochet, interesting. I do like it. I'm interested in seeing where this goes. Obviously, this is going to lead us into Swerve and Ricochet Part 2 at Revolution. And do you end the feud at Double or Nothing? Like, do you go all the way till May? Do you go another 3 months with this feud? Or what do you do? I don't know. Moving on. Main event of the evening. Orange Cassidy defeats Roderick Strong. And then he'll take on Takeshita next week. And Kenny Omega will face the winner at Revolution. Post-match, Takeshita and Mark Davis, they show up. They beat up Orange Cassidy. Kenny Omega comes out to make the save. And Kenny Omega and Orange Cassidy, they clean house. Orange Cassidy and Kenny Omega stare down at each other. They stare each other down. And then Kenny Omega then grabs the international title. He hoisted it above his shoulders. And that was it. So this was okay, I guess. I liked the Megan Bayne stuff, although it's a little bit too premature, but it's fine. I get what they're doing with that. The Hangman, Adam Page, and MJF stuff was cool. That was nice. That's interesting. The Death Rider stuff, I don't care about. Will Hobbs needs to get away from AEW and go to NXT. Same thing with Hook, even though I'm a fan of Samoa Joe. But all in all, Dynamite was Dynamite. It was boring. But we got a couple of good things to talk about. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.